Hello and welcome to CloudCAD. I am Johnny, and today I'll be taking you through some core workflow and basic functionality of the software. So to begin, this is our canvas. This is where all your drafting will be done. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to take you into the canvas settings. So the first setting we have here is the ability to control units. So here we can swap between metric and imperial. I will stay with millimeters for now. The next is the ability to control our grid, as you can see. So you can turn this on and off. You can also use the slider to control your grid size if you want to make it larger or smaller. I will be sticking with the default, which is 5,000. Next, we have detailed instructions. These are critical when you're first learning the software. This should always be on. So what detailed instructions does is you get these create, move, copy operations. You get the description of your CloudCAD. Additionally, when you hover over tools, you get the detailed instructions. You also get the default shortcut and a little tip right there. Next, I want to take you through the helping resources. So we have videos here. We also have the search bar where if you're having any issues and you don't know how to use the tool, you can type in line. It'll show you default shortcut, instructions, and also where it is, as some of the tools are a little bit hidden in the toolbar. So here we'll go to mirror copy. I'm clicking mirror copy and it's flashing blue on our toolbar. Now, the next thing I'll take you through is the shortcuts. So there's 4 available presets here. I'm just going to go with SkySieve for now. I'm going to load the preset. And these are fully customizable at any point. So if you want to delete any shortcuts, you can do that. If you would like to add them as well, you can do that. So what you would do is whatever tool you want to create a shortcut for, you would select it and then type in your default shortcut. I'm just going to reload that SkySieve one. The next thing that we're going to go through, which is very helpful for new users using the software, is the command console. So if you do like this, you should click the console opens on key press. So what that does is as you're typing, so if I want to look for the line tool, I'm typing in the line tool is popping up with the default shortcut, and you can then press spacebar to activate this. So I'm holding shift here while I'm just placing down some geometry. That locks us into either the X or the Y axes. I'm going to do it again here for you. So I'm locked into the X axis here and I'm placing down geometry. So as we turn on the command console activates on key press, I'm now typing again. And this is a really good discovery tool for new users as well. So you're going to find a lot of the new buttons and tools in CloudCAD, as well as the ability to assign shortcuts from this command console as well. So here's circle by 4 arcs. You can assign a default shortcut here. It's very similar to the shortcuts tab that we just went through above. We're going to exit out of the command console now. And before we start doing any more drafting, I'm going to show you the snaps menu as well. So these are the snaps. They just help ensure that we are accurate and aligned when drafting. Now, these are the default snaps. However, again, fully customizable at any point. You can simply turn them on and off. Now we're going to go through the drafting right now. I'm going to turn my command console off, as the optimal workflow in CloudCAD is you learning the software, creating your own shortcuts, and then applying these. So I'm going to go in with my line tool, activating L to turn this on. And as you can see, the snaps are activating. So this is snap to line end, and we have snap to adjacent node activating as well. So it just ensures, again, that we are aligned. So now I'm coming in and I'm drawing. You see that snap to adjacent node? What that means is we get that preview line all the way down. Now I'm just going in and placing some geometry. I'm pressing R for the rectangle tool now. You can see that it's activated up here, and I'm just going to create a rectangle. I'm also going to place a circle down. So this is the circle tool and line mid. So that is snapping to the middle of the line automatically. Okay, so that was just some basic geometry. Now we're going to go through the operations, which help us edit our existing geometry. So first I'm going to use the trim tool. Now, if you're unsure at any point, these are where the detailed instructions are really important. So the trim tool, click the trim button to activate trim mode, select 2 intersecting shapes, any combination of line, circle, or arc. So I'm activating the tool, I'm pressing 2 points, I'm pressing 2 different lines, And then I'm clicking on the side that I want to remove. So now we have a nice arc instead of the circle. I'm going to use the extend line tool now. So I'm pressing one line. Before I press the other line, I get this really nice preview line down here as well. I'm clicking and now we've extended that line all the way down. I'm going to use fillet and chamfer now as well. So create fillet. There's two options here, vertex selection or edge selection. I'm going to go with edge selection. All I'm doing is clicking two lines that meet at a point. And now I'm getting my fillet. We're going to do the same thing with chamfer now. I'm going to change this. I want this a bit larger. So I'm going with 2000 and I'm going to go vertex selection. So I'm just clicking the vertex at this point. Perfect. Now I'm going to double press Z here, and what that does is automatically zooms in. Now that we've gone through some basic drafting, I do want to show you one of the core workflows of CloudCAD, which is the ability to drag and drop images off our desktop that we've downloaded. So I'm going to delete this. Now I'm going onto my desktop and I am dragging and dropping an image here. So now I'm going to double press Z again to automatically zoom it. I'm double clicking my image and I want to scale this. So we have known dimensions here, so I'm going to scale by that known dimension. So I'm pressing image scaling by length. I'm clicking points where I believe are correct. I'm holding shift here to lock into the y-axis. And now that we've placed this line, we want to scale it and we want 10 to 350. Now that that is scaled, I'm double pressing Z once again. I want to open up these image settings again and I want to freeze this position. Now, freezing the position just means that as we're drawing on it, it's not gonna, or as we're tracing it out, it's not gonna move. I also want to turn this transparency down. I just find that it's easier to trace out objects when the transparency is a little bit lower. So now I'm gonna go in with our polylines tool, which is Control L. Now what the polylines are, it just creates a series of lines where we don't have to reactivate the line tool. So I'm gonna go in and trace this out now. Now that we've traced this out, what I'm going to do is double click. We can either make it fully transparent or I think I'm just going to delete it. And what we're going to do now is export our floor plan as a PDF. So I'm going to press Control P. This opens export canvas to PDF and I think we want A2. So we've selected the format that we would like and now I'm going to constrain our PDF to this A2 size. So now all I'm doing is we get this preview here. I'm clicking it. And if we want to preview what our floor plan is going to look like, this is what it looks like. So that's how you export to PDF and then you would do that. And now that is on your desktop. The final thing we're going to do in this tutorial is we're going to take this floor plan over to S3D. So I'm just going to unframe this, I believe. Yeah, here we are. Now, to take our model to S3D, there's two important things. There's a parent-child canvas system, and then there's also applying structural data to our floor plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place some points here. Now these points are representative of columns in S3D, and our lines are representative of members. So there's no structural data assigned to this yet, so I'm just going to duplicate this canvas. All this means is, I'll show you the elevations here as well. It just means that this canvas number 2 is 3 meters above our ground floor. Now I'm going to edit our ground floor quickly, so I'm just going to delete our beams as we don't want beams on the ground floor. I'm pressing Control A and I'm going to apply some supports to our columns on the ground floor. Also going to assign some sections here as well. Now what we're going to do is come to our first floor and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to apply some structural data. I'm going to assign sections to points. I'm also going to assign sections to lines. Something else as well, we're going to create a concrete or slab region, which is using the hatch tool just here. So I've highlighted everything, doing Command A, and then I'm pressing H to activate this hatch. Turn structural data on. I'm going to change this to concrete. Perfect. Okay, this is where the parent-child canvas system comes in. So I'm going to duplicate this canvas. Because they're structurally similar, it's going to prompt us to group these canvases. So we're going to group these now. And this canvas number 3 is now a view only. We cannot control any structural data here. It's all done through canvas 2, which is the master or parent canvas. So essentially what's happening now is we're just duplicating these floors up. As you can see, our elevations are increasing. It's a very simple but yet effective way to get a multi-story building. If at any point you do want to change the structural data, what you just do is come to the master canvas. Well, let's change this slab thickness here to 300. And then we're also going to change this hatch pattern just so you can visually see these changes here. So I'm pressing save. And now what is happening is we're being prompted to propagate these changes to the canvases below. So now I'm going to click this button, and now all these canvases below have got the same structural data that we have just changed. Now, before we export to S3D, we can actually assess what sections have been applied. So in our elevations, you just press examine structural data, and you can see what sections are applied to our points. There's no supports because we're on the first floor. Our structural data for our slab and the lines as well. Okay, now we're going to click out, export to S3D. And we have our model come across very nicely. Now, these are some core workflows and basic functionality of our brand new software, CloudCAD.